Hey guys, it is officially spring and I am so happy about it. This year is a weird one, which kind of makes me feel a little bit overwhelmed, but also I have a little bit of hope that my gardening season might be a little bit longer because of it. So let me tell you some things that are going on out here. So normally this time of year, I do not put in any of my cool season plants until the beginning of April. I have already started hardening them off. I have flowers and vegetables that I've hardened off, and I probably could have put them in like a week ago to 2 weeks ago. And even though that gets me excited, I also am kind of like, this is too early. Like, there is a good chance that Utah might have like a crazy freeze or something, because that happens all the time. So I really don't know what to do here, but I think I'm going to try it. We're to the end. We have about a week before the end of March, so I'm just going to give it a try and try to get some stuff outside. But first, I wanted to kind of show you some fun things that are going on in my garden. It is really dry this year here. I've said it before, but we've barely had any snowstorms. So we are definitely going to be in a drought year here. And I can already tell that some of my plants are feeling it. I have dragged the hose around my yard and been watering by hand just to try to make sure that things survive. But even like my daffodils, I have a bunch of different varieties of daffodils, and some of them have already like shriveled up because it's just so hot. We've been in the 80s some days, which is not normal here. So hopefully I caught some pictures of some that have already dried up, but let me show you some fun things. Okay, so right here across my garage, I had two different varieties. There's this one, and I'll have to see if I'll add the variety if I can find it. But then I also had another one that already dried up that was a lot frillier variety that was really fun, and I will insert a picture here. Hi, Teddy. Teddy. Hi, buddy. This is Teddy. I think my favorites are actually just the standard like yellow ones. Let me get my shadow out of the way. These ones are actually lasting longer than all the others. My front pots daffodils just opened. I had crocus that bloomed, but it seriously only bloomed for a couple days. And then they dried up. It makes me so happy. More yellow, just bright yellow. And teeny tiny white ones. See, they're already starting to dry out. Normally these last a lot longer. There are some different tulips that have started to open. This is my favorite phlox. It's like a cloud of purple. This is just a creeping phlox. So it's so fun to have like the yellow play off the purple. Over in my corner, the tulips are getting ready to open up. These are ones that I got from where I volunteer at Thanksgiving Point. And I really, really can't wait for these to open. They are light yellow and pink. Over in this corner bed, I'm actually really excited about it. I saw online somebody that did like a drift of these blue star junipers. And originally I just had this one, and I went to Home Depot and I bought 4 more. So I just added this drift of evergreen interest. And you can tell like this one hasn't blued up yet from the weather changing, but once it gets warm it'll be this brighter color. So super excited about that. Yes, so I'm really, really loving the daffodils. So fun, but they don't seem to be lasting as long as they normally do. This year also I'm noticing the weed pressure is way worse than normal. And I was talking to a friend about it, and we think it's because because the temperatures got so hot that we not only have cool season weeds growing, but also warm season weeds at the same time. And so I have a good amount of unfinished space in my yard right now, and I just keep working on one section at a time to try to get it developed. But that means that I have a lot of uncovered ground that I just try to keep up on the weeds, and this year it's just so much worse. Let me show you one of the bad sections. Okay, so this is the right side of my backyard. I just barely started planting stuff here this last fall. Maybe some things in the spring, but I have a service berry. This is an autumn brilliant service berry. I got it on sale at the end of the season last year. Look, it's alive. I also put some berries through here. Some of them needed more shade and didn't make it, but I have some blackberries that eventually I do want to put a trellis here, but I just wanted to get them in the ground. But right above here, which I've showed you guys before, I am going to start a living privacy fence, like a mixed hedge. I'm going to rearrange a bunch of these. I don't really love how this is a straight line, so I want to kind of change it up, but I'd wanted to slowly start buying plants. But look at the weed pressure. This is just crazy. We normally have these purple ones, which I just do not love those, but I have all kinds of like grass seeds that are popping up everywhere. I'm even getting weeds in areas that I have mulch. This area by our trampoline has about 4 to 5 inches of mulch. I know back in this section it probably has more like 6, and we are getting all kinds of these grass weeds. I have been trying to come out about every day and weed a section just to make it so it doesn't drive me crazy and I don't get worn out. But this warm weather is a doozy. So new challenges this year: weed pressure. Hopefully that we don't have a last minute freeze like happens here sometimes, but hopefully we're just in for maybe a longer growing season than normally. Our last freeze date is usually the second week in May, so about Mother's Day. To be safe, sometimes we wait until about the end of May, but we'll see what happens. Let me show you what I'm going to do today. I have some cool season vegetables that I want to get outside. I mentioned in one of my last videos that I wanted to try to get broccoli out sooner than I have before, just because it goes to bloom really, really fast. And this year might not be any different just because of how hot it is already, but I have these broccoli seedlings that I want to get out here. I also have some onions. These are a Utah yellow onion that I want to put in my raised beds, and I'm going to put them in the same bed that I planted a bunch of my cool season vegetable seeds. And let me show you that here. Okay, here is the bed that we planted in about a week and a half ago. And so far, the peas are starting to come up. You can see the little bits of green popping up there. We have these are radishes right here. I don't have any cilantro peeking its head out yet. Maybe that's one right there. Mainly beans, and I also don't have any carrots yet. I just have peas popping out. So hopefully I also have peas over here because I had extra seeds, so I just threw them in, but hopefully we'll get some carrots. I want to plant, broccoli gets pretty tall, so I want to plant the broccoli back here, kind of between these pea trellises, and then I'm going to plant the onions all around the edges of the bed, and probably clean out some of these beds and put onions around the edges as well. So let's get to work. Okay, so I am tucked behind my pea trellises, and I have 12 broccoli plants here. Some of these have multiple plants per pack, so I am going to thin them out, but I am going to kind of tuck these in here a little tight, just because I don't want them to get like really big, because I don't know how long they'll be in here. Okay, so online it says to plant broccoli plants 18 to 24 inches apart, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to tuck these in about a foot apart. That way I can get 8 in here. I really like to kind of squish my stuff in here. It helps retain moisture in my beds, and makes it so I can fit a lot more in here. So I'm gonna put 8 across here. Teddy, no. Yeah, come with me, come on, come see. Yeah, come see. Okay, so I'm gonna tuck 8 across the back here and maybe 1 on each side, and then tuck the rest in a different garden bed. In my garden beds, the edges closest to the outside usually is the driest, so I'm trying to plant on the inside of my drip tape. There are a couple spots that I already put peas, so I have to put it on the other side as close as I can to the drip tape. But I am going to put onions on this other side, and they usually do okay with it a little bit drier. Okay, there's one. These are just a variety that I got from Home Depot. I have already put compost in this bed. I picked all the weeds and cleaned it up in our last video, so it is totally ready to go. This one has 2, so I am just going to clip off this one that's growing kind of crooked and put it in here. I also forgot to say that I am trying to also line the plant up with a emitter in the drip tape so that it has access to water right next to it. This one has 3 in it, so I'm just gonna clip off 2 of those, so I just have the 1. And this guy's kind of tiny, but we're gonna try it. Okay, I have 2 more, so I'm just gonna put one right over here on the edge and one on the other edge. Okay, next are the onions. This is a Utah yellow onion. It's supposed to be one that stores a lot longer. Last year I did Walla Walla onions, and they were great, but just didn't last as long. And so I really focused on a variety that might store better. So with these, I really just scattered a bunch of seeds in to the container, and so there's multiple onions per cell, and these are so easy to separate. I mean, if you buy starts from the nursery, they don't even have them like in soil, so you really can just like grab them and kind of pull them apart and plant them like this. And you plant them in like a little bit of a hill and a mound around it, and then they will start, as they grow, they'll kind of like grow out of the ground. So you can just separate these and just plant the onions. Okay, and then don't forget to water it all in. Thanks for joining me today, seeing some fun things in the garden in springtime and also planting some broccoli and onions. Let me know what you've put in the ground already and hope to see you in the next video.